Warning, this film is disturbing, and when I say anger and hate became a shield around me watching this movie, I can't even begin to express it. And although I want to encourage you all to watch I Am All Girls, I am letting you all know this is not for the faint of hearts. So, with that being said, let's get into the review. So let me get straight to it. I Am All Girls is about a police detective named Jody investigating a ring of sex traffickers in South Africa. But there had been many times where the bus she's led came up empty and short of suspects and children. So she gets kicked off her case. And as I am watching, I get angry with her and for her because I don't understand why she is being punished for something she doesn't have control of. All she can do is follow the lead she is given, right? And on top of that, they are not supplying her with enough funding and resources to help. And it just don't make no sense. That alone ticked me off. Because here we have someone who is passionate about the work she is doing. And as far as I can see, putting all of her energy into it. But she is penalized. I just don't get it. Maybe someone can explain it to me, but it still wouldn't make sense to me. But because she is kicked off of the sex trafficking case, she is moved to another case that is dealing more with homicide and a string of serial murders. So the homicide case she is assigned to ends up being connected to the sex trafficking cases of 6 girls being taken in South Africa. Now this movie is based off of true events and it is centralized off of the cases of the 6 girls being taken. And the only reason Jody knows this is because the person that is killing all these nasty men is carving the initials of the girls that were taken by them. So once Jody makes the connection and takes it to her superior, she is once again met with pushback and is forced to take time off because her chief feels like she is going crazy and she needs psychological help and needs to go to a health and wellness place to calm her nerves. Y'all, I hate that so much. Her job is not easy and it's not supposed to be and it never will be. So yes, she is going to work long hours. Yes, she is going to stress herself out because she clearly wants these nasty put 10 feet under. Well, I don't want them put on 10 feet under. But she wants them caught in trial. So don't go blaming it on she needs a break. If this is a job that I took on, it has to be known that I didn't get into this for a break. Because the moment I do take one, 10, 20, 40 more children has been taken away and God knows what the fuck is happening or has happened to them. And it's crazy because there's a scene in the movie where she is at a bar taking drinks and having a talk with one of her coworkers, Tombi Zonki, who happens to be her girlfriend or they in some type of relationship, child. And my first thought was, girl, what is you doing hanging out? Go through some work. It's kids need saving. Like, you don't need no break. So that was the first thing that went through my mind. And then I said to myself, you know what? It's good that she is taking this moment because sometimes you have to get away from the monstrous acts happening in front of you on this type of job that she's dealing with. So I believe she do take breaks in her own little way. There are just times where she is overworking herself so she can get things done. So that is my spiel on the whole situation. And don't get me wrong now, because there were a lot of moments where Jody was pissing me off a lot because she made so many irrational moves, but it was never because she was tired, but mainly because she wanted to prove her point, which eventually becomes a situation where she is hurting her cases more than she is helping them. But the right intentions is there. It's just the system is so flawed that it backfires on her. Whew, okay. I said a lot there, but coming back into the film, I left off telling you all about Jody's homicide cases becoming a sex trafficking case because eventually we find out that the string of murders that she is investigating is happening by one of the sex trafficking ring's former victims, and that the serial killer, or I would say vigilante, also works for the police department as a forensic scientist and is also Jody's girlfriend, Tombi Zonki Bapai, which means all girls, hence the name of the film. So not only is she connected to all the older cases, but she is now connected to the new cases that Jody is taking on because the man that had involvement in taking her and the other girls still had some part in the present day trafficking. In the beginning, it was confusing because the film does a lot of flashbacks of Tumbi Zunki as a child being kidnapped, and the connection doesn't correlate as soon as the creators may have wanted it to. Because when she reveals herself as the killer early in the film, it comes off as she is just this vigilante getting justice. But really, she is a victim turned vigilante getting justice, which makes her role even more powerful. But oddly, Tumbi Zunki character was very silent and placed on the back burner, although she was the main factor. So it would have been great to see more of her. But I mean, we all know the film industry has this weird obsession with the white saviors when really they don't do anything, just like in this film, and how hard Jodie was going, yet she still fell short every scene. And the only time she did get a win is when Tumbi Zunki Bapai did the work for her, unknowingly. So Jodie's relevance in the film was too important for her to be doing a lot of nothing. But I mean, the good intentions was there. But I wanted more of Tumbi Zunki in her vigilante acts. Speaking of, because Tumbi Zunki is taking down all these men, we learn the key sicko or master of the trafficking ring early on in the film. And by the time we get to the end, it is confirmed. So everyone that has been kidnapped and killed during the middle act of the movie were just all nasty ass middlemen that played a big part in the 6 girls' abduction. Now, because we found out who the master of the children trafficking ring is early, it personally doesn't satisfy me when he gets killed at the ending of the movie. I just feel like the movie didn't show how disgusting of a person he truly was. Yes, naturally we know he is a sick fuck because of what he is doing, but we never really see him in action. But only, I think, 2 times. And those 2 times are when he rapes Tumbi Zunki when she is a child and then sends her off to a sex house, and at the end when he has a line of girls being sold to a Middle Eastern guy in the middle of nowhere. Granted, those 2 times are disgusting enough, but so much happens during the film that it kind of slips your mind when it shouldn't. So by the time we are at the end, it's like, okay, yeah, they killed him, but they didn't really push the true hate many have for him for the things that he did. Disgusting fucker. But then again, the creators could have went that route with his character because usually the head sicko is always quiet and unknown, yet holds the most power. And that could be the reason why his character was a background player in a way. But to sum everything up, I Am All Girls is a heavy, dark, and gruesome film because of its topic of child sex trafficking. And granted, we know that the topic of sex trafficking period is harsh on any sympathetic human being. But child sex trafficking is just low down disgusting. But for some odd and strange reason, it's one that doesn't get talked about enough. But the creators were able to handle the subject matter in a mature way that didn't feel too pushy, and we were given illusions of what happened to these little girls and didn't actually see it. Thank God. But the illusions alone got the job done. And I am not sure if this film was created to do its due diligence on bringing the topic to light more or just created for entertainment purposes, but it definitely did a good job addressing the issue. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my review on I Am All Girls. Y'all already know what to do next. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts and views on this movie or on my review, and last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the Queendom, baby. Bye.